I can't forgive my husband's parents. I cannot forgive my husband's parents. More than 20 years have passed, but the pain is still inside me. I still feel hurt. I still feel upset. Time has passed, but my heart has not forgotten. When I moved to another country, I didn't know much about my husband's parents. If I had known what I was going to face, I would have asked for a divorce before I left. I was very young, only 20 years old. I didn't understand how life worked. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. I didn't know how to protect my heart. So I stayed quiet. I accepted everything. My husband didn't help me. He was afraid of his father and always listened to him. I had to deal with everything on my own. I felt very lonely. Many nights, I cried while holding my baby in my arms. Before we moved, we lived with my parents. At first, everything felt okay. But inside, I was afraid. I knew I would have to leave one day. But I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. We had to leave earlier than planned. I said goodbye to my home. I said goodbye to my family. And most of all, I said goodbye to my dear mother. My mother was everything to me. I had never been far from her before. Saying goodbye felt like a part of my soul was being torn away. I was only 20, so young, so unprepared. I didn't know what I was going to do in a new country. Far from everything I knew, I was so sad that I thought I might not survive the sadness. The move was very hard on me. I became sick. My heart ached for a long time. I couldn't stop thinking about my home, my mother, and the life I had left behind. My husband's parents did not help me at all. They didn't care about how I felt. I was completely alone. No one gave me the support I needed. I had to gather all my strength for my son and for my mother, who was also heartbroken by the distance. For months, I went to doctors because I felt weak and tired all the time. I tried to stay strong, but it was very hard. Slowly, I started to work. Nothing was easy. I had to learn how to live in a new country, where I didn't understand the language. At first, I couldn't communicate properly. I felt lost and invisible. But I didn't give up. I worked hard. Little by little, I learned new skills. Over time, I found a good job. I began to earn money. I started to feel better. For the first time, I felt proud of myself. I had a dream to buy a house. I worked hard to make that dream come true. My husband, on the other hand, could not learn the language. Even today, he still struggles with it. For a long time, he didn't have a job. I supported our whole family. I worked. I took care of him. I supported him emotionally. I always stood by him. Then one day, everything changed. My mother-in-law started saying things that hurt me deeply. She said she never had a daughter, but always wanted one. She looked at me and said that other women had their mothers with them, but I didn't. It felt cruel. She made me feel small. She made me feel alone again. I began to ask myself, what do they want from me? Do they want love? Do they want kindness? I can't give them that anymore. I don't feel love for them. I don't feel warmth. I only treat them with respect. I say, "Happy holidays." I try not to make them angry, but that's all. My mother passed away 10 years ago. I feel sad every day. I regret that I didn't visit her as much as I should have. I remember how my mother-in-law told me not to call my mom more than once a month because it was too expensive. Those words broke my heart. So I called my mother less. When I did call, I told her everything was fine. Then I hung up. I didn't want to upset anyone. Now, after all these years, I finally understand what really happened. My husband's parents didn't like me. They didn't care about me. And my father-in-law, I don't even want to think about him. One night, he kicked me out of the house with my baby. My husband was drunk and angry. I was afraid. I needed to stay there to protect my son. But my father-in-law didn't care. He told me I could go back to my home, but without my son, that was too much. Of course, I chose my son. He was my priority. I would never leave him behind. Even though this happened a long time ago, the pain is still there. When I think about it, I still cry. I ask myself, why was I so weak back then? Why couldn't I stand up for myself? Why do I still speak to them like nothing ever happened? It hurts to be kind to them now. I can't pretend anymore. I can't wear a mask of happiness while feeling broken inside. I'm sorry for writing this in a confused way. It's hard to think about everything that happened, but I still need to find a way to keep living with this pain. I know I will never forget it, but I hope one day I can heal. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share.